As the war in West Asia drags on, its ripple effects are being felt elsewhere around the world. U.S. universities have become the latest flashpoint. This as students across the country are holding pro-Palestinian protests at different campus premises. The American President Joe Biden has broken his silence over the protests happening in the country. Biden has urged pro-Palestinian protesters on university campuses to uphold the rule of law. He says, "We are a civil society and order must prevail."
We're a civil society, and order must prevail. Throughout our history, we've often faced moments like this because we are a big, diverse, free-thinking, and freedom-loving nation.
Biden's comments on the protests come as, according to reports, following weeks of demonstrations and police crackdowns at college campuses across America. The protests have resulted in more than 2,300 arrests. The latest arrests came from New York after police ordered protesters to abandon tent encampment at New York University. And dozens of protesters refused to abide by the police orders. According to NYU spokesperson, the officials arrested the protesters while about 30 more protesters left voluntarily. The NYPD officers also cleared an encampment at the new school in Greenwich Village on the request of school administrators. No arrests have been announced. By late in the morning, at the university campus, cleanup crews could be seen taking down tents and chairs and scraping up the remains of protest signs. Similar crackdowns have occurred at colleges across the country. At Portland State University, police moved against protesters as they cleared a library that was a major part of the demonstration movement. Inside the library, the demonstrators had barricaded themselves since Monday. While on April 30th, NYPD officers dressed in riot gear stormed through the window of the Columbia University building, Hamilton Hall. An officer accidentally discharged his firearm. During the operation, under low light conditions, the NYPD Emergency Service Unit Sergeant accidentally discharged a round from his firearm while attempting to gain entry to a locked office through a window. The bullet is said to have traveled through the office glass and into the room.
During the course of this operation, while clearing an unoccupied vacant area of the building on the first floor, one ESU member, a sergeant, did unintentionally discharge one round from his firearm. After the firearm discharge, the sergeant immediately assessed his team and ensured that nobody was injured. The team gained.
Meanwhile, protesters at the University of California, Riverside, have reached an agreement with school officials to end their demonstrations. The encampment at UC Riverside was one of many pro-Palestinian demonstrations taking place on college campuses across the country. And it's not just in America, but students in different parts of the world are also showing their solidarity with the Palestinians. The protests can be seen across Australia, Canada, France, UK, and Yemen. Yemen's Houthi rebels, which has disrupted global shipping to display its support for Palestinians in the Gaza conflict, is now offering a place for students suspended from U.S. universities after staging anti-Israeli protests.
What prompted us to make such a decision? It was to return the favor to these heroes, to these free people who took this strong stance, this courageous stance towards their oppressive regimes and raised their voices loudly. So the very least we can do is to open the doors of our universities to accommodate them after they were expelled and oppressed, after they exposed these regimes that claim freedom of opinion and freedom of expression.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.